everyone. So I was still hanging out in Houston, and I've been hearing about this food called a kolache. So I happened to be driving by or parked in the same parking lot with Kolache Factory. So I stopped and got one, and I wanted to show you what it was for those of you who've never seen a kolache before. It's effectively a hand pie, so it's a, meat stuffed inside of a bread thing. So it's approximately the size of a little bun, I have tiny hands and it fits in the palm of my hand. It's hot because she put it in the microwave. This one's the Italian chicken, so I'm expecting a bread thing wrapped around a chicken thing with some Italian sauce on it maybe, only because I see some sauce peeking out. I've never had one before, but people here have been telling me that kolaches are awesome, and there's lots of various opinions about which kolaches are the awesomest. This particular joint has mostly breakfast ones, so it was a lot of, this egg and cheese, that egg and cheese, this an egg, that an egg. Ranchero, which is ham and eggs. This was one of like 4 more lunchy type that I could see there. They had this and a creamed spinach, and I honestly don't remember what the other ones were. And I'm a little worried this one might be too hot to eat, but I'm gonna give it a shot so that you guys can see the inside too. So, just a second. So it's almost like a King's Hawaiian roll on the outside, where the bread's just a little bit sweet. And yeah, it's just cheese and chicken and a little bit of pasta sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and eat this thing, but I wanted to share my first kolache experience with you all. Alright folks, we're here outside of Buc-ee's, which is a giant gas station convenience store thing. This is the one about 30 minutes outside of San Antonio. So let's pull out of here so you guys can see the whole thing. The apparel end of Buc-ee's. And this is the gas station row. And you can see the middle entrance to Buc-ee's. And now we're getting down to the convenience end. In January, I drove out to San Antonio to visit with my eldest nephew. He repaired Priuses for a living, and he helped me replace the capacitor that went bad and turned my entire console into total darkness. He also gave this guy an oil change and let me know that my PCV valve was going bad. In March, I tripped over 1 inch of concrete and smashed my face into a patio. Caused several, you can see the abrasions on my face. I had abrasions on my hand. I smacked both my knees into the pavement. Busted my front tooth and had to have dental work done. So that took up a fair amount of February. In March, my car, the Sky, was struck on the right-hand side, the passenger side, on the front fender by another driver who didn't see us in the lane we were in and decided to merge her car with my car. So that's been most of that. It happened in March, and figuring out whose insurance was going to pay for what took the end of March and part of April. And then now here at the end of April, I have my car in the shop and they are doing all the auto body repairs. They should be done either today or tomorrow. So yeah, there's been a lot going on since Christmas. While I've been here in Houston, I have spent many a Tuesday evening and Saturday at the Sugarland Tabletop Gaming Group. If you're in the neighborhood, I would definitely recommend stopping by. You can find the group on their Facebook page. At their group meetings, you'll get to play board games as diverse as the following. Dune Betrayal was released in 2021. It accommodates 4 to 8 people, is 20 to 40 minutes long. It is an asymmetrical game featuring hidden identity. I did play it. Hidden identities are my least favorite board game, but if you like Dune, I would recommend giving it a try. Cartographers was released in 2019. It says it can accommodate up to 100 people, but the community tends to agree it's best at 3 to 4 people. It's 30 to 45 minutes long, and it is a roll and write pen and paper game. I enjoyed it as much as I have any other roll and write. My favorite is still Ganz schön clever, but Cartographers was solid. It's a solid roll and write. Cascadia was released in 2021. It accommodates 1 to 4 people, takes 30 to 45 minutes of playtime. It is a tile placement pattern matching drafting game featuring very cute animal tokens, and I enjoy this. I've played it a couple of times. Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition was released in 2021. It plays 1 to 4 people. It's 45 to 60 minutes of playtime. It is an engine building hand management game with simultaneous gameplay. For those of you who have played Terraforming Mars and Race for the Galaxy, it has the simultaneous play like Race for the Galaxy does, which makes it a much faster version of Terraforming Mars. I enjoy it. I would play either one. I think I like the longer original version better because of how the map works, but I would happily play either one. One of my favorite games that I've gotten to play with the Sugarland board game group is Captain Sonar. Captain Sonar accommodates 2 to 8 people, is 45 to 60 minutes long, and it is a real-time strategy game. What I like about this game is the real-time factor. You have 4 roles potentially going at the same time. Those are captain, radio operator, engineer, and first mate. The captain is the person doing the primary speaking role. They decide where your particular submarine goes and when to fire any weapons, if any. The radio operator, meanwhile, is listening to the captain on the other team so that they can plot the movement of where they believe the other submarine has gone. The engineer tracks the damage that's been taken to your team's submarine, and the first mate tracks the specific actions in game that repair that damage and alerts the captain when systems are ready again. So all 4 of these roles are happening simultaneously on your team while they're happening simultaneously for the other team. And so there's a lot of back and forth. It brings that kind of heightened tension that you get when things are happening in real time. Pandemic can occasionally feel like that, but there's too much time in Pandemic when you can strategize. In Captain Sonar, you're busy doing your role, so there's really no time to strategize. The captain has to run the ship as best he can, and everyone has to play their roles the best they can. And I really enjoy how this plays. I'm very much looking forward to playing it again. Captain Sonar was released in 2016, so it's been out for a bit, and I just didn't know about it. The Sugarland Tabletop Group has also played Sonar, which was released in 2017. I don't know anything about it, I can just tell you that the group does play it occasionally. Century Spice Road was released in 2017, and I think most folks who are into modern board gaming and go to board game groups have probably played this game. An engine building game whose theme is spice trading. It plays 2 to 5 people and takes 30 to 45 minutes to play. I'm all right with Century Spice Road. I've played it a lot. I can kind of take it or leave it. But we also played Century Eastern Wonders. This game was released recently. It plays 2 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes. It is a pickup and delivery game. And so the mechanics of it are very different than Century Spice Road, though you're still dealing with the red, green, yellow, all the spices that you were dealing with in Century Spice Road, but now you're doing them as a pickup and delivery game using boats, sailing around the Spice Island. I enjoy Eastern Wonders much more than I enjoy Century Spice Road. I think I enjoy both engine building and pickup and delivery games. Just between the two, I found Century Eastern Wonders more to my liking. They're both quality games for what they are. Just it depends on which mechanic you prefer. Junk Orbit was released in 2018, accommodates 2 to 5 people, is 30 to 40 minutes to play. It is another pickup and delivery game in space, where you're picking up useful items, dropping them off at other planets, picking up other items while you're on that planet, and so on. I enjoyed this game a lot. I would be willing to own it. I like pickup and delivery games in space. It worked for me. Calico was released in 2020. It is 1 to 4 players, 30 to 45 minutes long. It is a tile placement game. Basically, you're building a quilt and trying to add buttons to it and capture cats with it. I enjoy it. If you like cat games, it's a good cat game. Skull was released in 2011. It plays 3 to 6 people, 15 to 45 minutes long, and it is a bluffing card game. It's a very compact little game, and yet there's still quite a lot of strategy to it. I was very impressed with how well Skull plays as a bluffing game with as few cards as it has. It shares that minimalist footprint the way that Love Letter does what it does brilliantly with only 11 cards. This does Bluffing Card Game brilliantly with just the limited amount of cardboard that it offers. So I would recommend this if you like standard, bluffing games.